Hello, hello, hello. All right, everyone. I am sorry. It took me a long ass time getting back home. But I know the chapter's not out yet, right? Chapter's not out yet, so I think we're good. Charlotte Katakuri says, "Come on, Morj, how are you going to let your chat hang without at least saying something in the chat? That's unprofessional, bro." Yeah, I'm sorry. I should have come through. So I did not have good internet. I don't have like a good sort of excuse slash reason other than I took me much longer than I expected coming home, and I didn't have good internet connection. That's all I can say. It's just the way it is. I'm sorry about that. But the chapter's not out yet. The chapter's not out, right? Tell me the chapter's not out? Is the chapter out? I need information. Is the chapter out? No, no. Okay, so the chapter's not out, so we're good, I think, right? We're good. We're all cool. I didn't miss anything. Bobby Wellington is asking more. Did you support Kanye and Kyrie in their brave endeavor against hate? What? Don't ask me shit like that. Come on now. Nah, Oda, quit. Chapter is indeed out. You look sleepy, go to bed. Not till I read and react to this chapter. You know what? We're going to change this to a chapter reaction. Lord Naga Viper says, you streaming before the chapters now, bro. Well, see, some people are telling me I'm late. Some people, like Lord Naga Viper, telling me I'm too early. I guess it's just the way it is. Yeah, I mean, nowadays I'll be reacting to the chapter live, right? So let's see. We'll put a 1 hour time limit. 1 hour time limit. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, 1 hour time limit for chapter coming out. I guess basically the way we can do it is how do we want to do this? Yeah. Nicholas Sealstern says, like the stream and Morj will do something cool. Yeah, everybody, let's get the stream likes up. Let's get the energy up. Stream likes up. I'm sorry I'm late. I have two apologies to make. Apology number one is for last stream. Who remembers last stream? Sheriff Laffy says, Morj, did you hear about SBS 104? Oh, we can talk about the new SBS. That's some stuff we can talk about. First is apology for the last stream. William Marshall says, Morj, quick thoughts on Chainsaw Man Part 2 so far. I haven't read the last two chapters. I prefer, like, if it's a weekly series I'm enjoying, lots of times I'll just let chapters pile up. I used to do this with One Piece, but now I can't because I have to do this shit. I haven't read the last two Chainsaw Man chapters, so no thoughts on that. Koro Sensei asks, "What's with the gamer chair?" You're new here. I've been having this chair for a little bit. Okay. We'll talk about SBS 104 in a second. Last stream, I have to apologize because the Jeopardy stream. Okay. I know that lots of times it's a bit of a joke how bad I am with technology and everything like that, but sometimes it goes too far and I don't realize how much it's hurting chat's viewing experience, right? So obviously that was one of the situations where it definitely was more, just way worse for chat's viewing experience than I gave like honest thought to. Partly because I'm just in the moment. For me, like I'm in the moment. I'm just uh I don't want to fuck up. Like I've already tried setting it up basically, so I don't want to fuck up the setup too much anymore as is. Obviously that's on me. I should be able to rearrange things on the fly better. But in the moment I'm just like the answers, how much do they really need to know the answers? We'll say the answers out loud, they'll be fine with that. For those of you who don't know, last Jeopardy stream there were some issues with chat being able to see the answers. That's basically it. Next time I will try and be more cognizant of basically when it is a serious issue that basically like, look, it's not funny to be sweeping under the rug. I should be addressing it basically. So I'll just try and be more cognizant of that going forward. We also talked with the editors who helped me set up the stream. Basically, we're trying to take more time in the mornings so that I don't have to just learn this shit on the fly. Jew, welcome to the Yonko. We got a new Yonko tier member. Great stuff. Damn, more just serious here, says Teddy Dark / Dark Mugawara. Yeah, I am capable of being serious. Yeah, I'm sorry about the Jeopardy thing. What's sad is I enjoyed the stream a lot because I had fun playing Jeopardy with Tekking, even though he slaughtered me. But it was fun just doing it. So I really enjoyed the stream, but I understand you guys didn't necessarily. So we'll try and avoid that in the future. Sorry about that. Ward Color says Bollywood dance though. No. We're not going that far. We're not going that far in terms of apologies. Okay, let's talk about SBS 104. So, SBS 104 told us some stuff about Captain Kidd, right? Captain Kidd, of course, one of the, I guess, among the community, considered to be one of the more disappointing characters in One Piece. We're gonna read about SBS 104. I guess Reddit's as good of a place as any. Here's what I know, right? So SBS 104 basically explained Kidd's backstory, which a lot of people don't like. Now, counterpoint is basically a lot of people are saying that it didn't explain Kidd's backstory. All it did was explain how his crew was formed, which is not necessarily the same as explaining his backstory. Here are my thoughts on that. Lord Naga Viper says, do you celebrate Diwali? Nah. I don't really celebrate, like, I do when I'm with my family and stuff, but in the privacy of my own living space, no. No. Okay, so let's just read Captain Kidd's backstory here. All right. Kidd, Killer Heat, and Wire were born in a certain island in South Blue, unaffiliated with the world government, which was ruled by a criminal gang that acted as its royalty. The island was subdivided into 4 districts, which each had its own local criminal gang, each led by the four aforementioned characters, with conflicts rising on a daily basis. Kidd and Killer had been childhood friends. At some point, Kidd and Killer became friends with a girl called Victoria S. They became friends with a girl called Victoria S., who became their first crush for the both of them. The character that was previously mentioned and talked about in the volume 87 and 98 SBS. However, one day Victoria was killed by the gang ruling the country. That's actually pretty sad. I forgot about this part. I read this a little bit ago. Victoria was killed. This drove Kidd so mad that he united the 4 gangs from the 4 districts and led a coup d'etat alongside Killer, Heat, and Wire to take down the criminal gang, overthrowing the current rule. After the event, Kidd told others that he didn't want to live in such a confined world, so he formed a pirate crew with the 4 of them and set out to sea, naming their ship the Victoria Punk in Victoria's memory. Oh, that's interesting. That's why it's called Victoria Punk. Here is why. Okay, so a lot of people are saying that this did not... People are saying that, like... To me, I read this as a backstory, right? This is a full backstory. Some people I see say that, no, this isn't necessarily Kidd's backstory. This is just explaining how Kidd's crew was formed, the same way that Oda explained how Law's crew was formed in an SBS. We should expect a full Kidd backstory, the real backstory for him, later down the line. Here is where I question that, okay? Because you can't just equate the two things and say, well, this explains how this backstory does ultimately explain how Kidd's crew is formed, and Law's backstory in the SBS also explained how Law's crew is formed, right? Those two aren't one-to-one comparisons, because the bigger thing with Law, right, is that throughout Law's appearances, even going all the way back to Saboti when we saw him have the smile with the, his logo and everything like that, and we realized there was a link to Doflamingo, to his introductions in Punk Hazard and everything like that, where we quickly realized that, okay, Law has some important past that is directly tied to Doflamingo, and there's something that he's trying to fulfill here, right? So there's motivations that he's been pursuing ever since he became a big pirate, right? Then lead into Dressrosa, where we're getting all sorts of hints as to what Law's true motivations are, Corazon, etc. All of that leading to taking down Doflamingo. And the reveal of Law's backstory and why, blah, 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 he's done all of this stuff, gone on the life path he did, okay? So with Law, we got hints all throughout that there is something important to Law's backstory that we have yet to find out that is related to Doflamingo. We were getting those hints since all the way back in his introduction, right? With Kidd, we don't have any sort of proof that there's nothing in the story to suggest that we will be getting, like, that there's some big missing piece to Kidd's story that we have yet to get, right? There's nothing really there that we have yet to understand. Like, there's nothing set up about Kidd, as far as I can tell, that it's like, yes, obviously we're going to get some sort of a backstory for him, right? If I point to Blackbeard, I'm like, yeah, Blackbeard, very quickly we can see a few things. We can see him crying as a child, right, in the drawings that Oda did of him. We know that he was an orphan when Whitebeard met him. We know that he had 2 sisters. We know that he doesn't sleep for some reason. There's a lot of question marks surrounding Blackbeard's backstory. And we know enough about his philosophies to understand that there's something that he's pursuing, right? Like, why is he after the will of D, etc., right? So there's stuff established in the story that sets up question marks for certain characters such that we can expect that there is a backstory coming. With Kidd, there is nothing really left to suggest that there is some big missing piece for Kidd's backstory. Because reading this stuff, like, I think people are clinging on too much to the idea that, like, well, it's just explaining how Kidd's crew is formed and how Law's crew is formed, right? it's very different because with the explanation of how Law's crew is formed in the SBS, that was tangential to all of the much more important stuff that seemed set up for Law's character over the course of the story, right? And the SBS happened to explain, or the law novel, whatever the fuck it was, the law novel SBS, whatever, happened to explain how he got his crew as well, right? With Kid reading this, it doesn't seem like this is a story that happens to explain how, this doesn't seem like the full point of it. Like, oh, this is a story to explain how Kid got his crew. This seems like the crux of Eustace Kid's character, basically explained to us here, right? This seems like the full shebang. There's not that much more that's implied, as far as I've seen regarding Kid's character, that's really, really important that we have yet to explore. You guys get what I'm saying? Like, just because both things explain how the crew were formed, this one seems far more substantial for Kid and crafting who Kid is as an individual and Kid's motivations and his outlook on life in the world, right? Than Law's. And on top of that, with Law, we were always getting hints that there's more to him that we have yet to find out, related to Doflamingo, Corazon, etc. Whereas with Kid, as far as I can tell, there's nothing really substantial to click onto there. So I don't know if you guys are getting what I'm saying there, but I'm just saying, like, it feels like this is a full fucking backstory, right? The only similarity it has with the Law stuff is that, yes, in technically both those SBSs or in that Law novel or whatever, Oda did off-screen, outside of the manga, explain how these two crews were formed. But Kids feels like a full-ass, this is his story. You know what I'm saying? Like, this feels like the birth of Captain Kidd and everything that he's about, and his tragic moment that shaped who he is, right? This is what his ship is named after, all that stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think you can just, like, wipe it away by saying, like, well, it's just another story of how Kid formed his crew. It's like, no, this is not the same as just, like, randomly finding, like, a fucking polar bear or whatever and being like, hey, we're friends now, right? This feels a lot more like this was the founding formational incident for Kid as a child that also happened to include his crew members, joining up with him and everything like that and forming the Kid Pirates. But it's more so what it meant to him and, like, who he lost and everything like that and how that shaped how he viewed the world. You guys get what I'm saying? You guys get what I'm saying? Makes sense? All right, where are we at? Gio says, finally caught your stream. Love your content. Want to support. Hope you have a good day. Thanks. Appreciate it. Mr. MMF says, was it a thanks for being a Yonko for 2 months. Was it a homeless man or an elderly woman that made you late this time? Also, the chapter is out on other sites. I'll wait for TCB. Let's give it a bit. If it's not out by TCB in like 40 minutes or something, maybe I'll try another site. Jordan Easterbrook says, welcome to the Yonko, man. I appreciate it. LD Sparrow 10 says BB can't sleep so he can't dream. Any Relatonin? Yeah, I don't know. Pretty sure the island would be relevant. Yeah, I don't know. Ben says I don't get it. It doesn't super duper matter. I just don't think that they're the same things, basically. Late says Kaido merged with Pluton, ? Kaido dragon form, new figurehead on Pluton. Pluton has the ability to absorb Devil Fruit users and gain their abilities. Let me raise the thing on my mic real quick. Hold on. Might be too low. Testing. Is this a little better? Kaido form new figurehead on Pluton. Pluton has the ability to absorb Devil Fruit users and gain their abilities. Yeah, I don't know about that. That's an interesting idea, but I don't fully understand it. Sheriff Lafitte says, SBS also mentions Guernica, the one who photographed Gear 5th, was the agent who Kaido hit. If you took a photo of Luffy in Gear 5th, that means he survived. Yeah, I wasn't even going to talk about that, kind of because I forgot. But it's just like, yeah, Guernica. I don't know, man. Guernica. First of all, his name's not even Dripper Scarfino, so that's the first big disappointment, right? Shouts to Randy Troy. Frigid says, Morj, how do I join the Yonko? You can hit... Thanks for asking. You can hit a join button, I think that should be under the screen. Should be there. You can hit the join button and then you join Yonko tier. If he took he survived. It's just weird, man. It's just weird who Oda chose to kill and not kill. I really don't get it. I don't get why that CP0 agent had to live. I don't get it. I don't get why that CP0 agent had to live. It just doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, why does the CP0 agent have to live? Because it's not. I understand certain things Oda does where it's like he doesn't want to kill certain characters because then he feels like it affects the mood of the party at the end of the day. But then I get that because it's One Piece. So it's like, okay, so maybe you don't want to kill these characters because it kills the vibe of the party. I get it. Fine. But how would killing Guernica kill the vibe of the party? And then also, by that logic, why is Izzo and Ashra, why is their deaths not affecting the vibe of the party? Keenan says, if you Google Dripper Scarfino, Guernica comes up. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm calling him Dripper Scarfino. Exactly. It's who the people want to be. Dripper Scarfino is a title, not a name. It can be passed around. Tom says, if Sanji and Zoro switched fighting styles right now, who'd be able to better use their new fighting styles? That's easy. Sanji by far, because we've seen Sanji win a fight against a Cypher Pole agent, right? A decently highly ranked one, Wanze, using just knives, right? So Sanji would be really good with, like, we don't know how good Zoro is with just kicks. I think we've like nothing to go off of. It's probably the thing that he trains least. So Sanji with knives, I think is easily, yeah. Like, does he have to use swords? Because I don't know about Sanji with swords, but it should mostly translate, right? Also, did Ivankov teach Sanji his hockey? I feel like Sanji might have just sort of picked up hockey over the course of running for those 2 years. Or like maybe over the course of his combat battles with all of the Okama Kempo masters. I don't know. Nolan P, thanks for being a member for 2 months. Just woke up from a coma. How is Arcane? I don't know. I still haven't watched it. Sunny Chung says, love the content, Morj. Do you believe Seraphim are stronger than First Commander tier? All I know is that we're going to get some insight into that this chapter. I know that there's certain things. There was some crazy stuff. So people on Twitter were talking about Sanji being made to look bad from the new chapter. And then later on talking about how it's a lie. So I don't know exactly what happens this chapter, but I know that there's something Seraphim involved. Because I know it involved. I don't even want to. I guess, yeah, I shouldn't say anything further, right? Because it's spoiling. I just don't want to. Like, I want to be honest. I want to explain what I know about the chapter. I don't know everything about the chapter, but I know certain discussions that come out from the chapter. But I also don't want to. The chapter's not out yet. Frigid, welcome to the Yonko. Thank you. Mark Ross says, you going to let some high school scrub dictate which manga you enjoy your whole life, or are you going to read God of High School? I also don't want to read God of High School. I did actually try it a little bit at some point, and it just didn't seem that interesting to me. Sheriff Lafitte says, Nami speaks about when she can finally be free and laugh from the heart. Luffy fights because Arlong made her sad. 2 out of 4. 2 out of 4? Oh, God. What did I missed the first one. Went back to Arlong Park after you mentioned it. Wonderful arc and struck me as involves the idea of joy and laughter. 2 out of 4. Okay. I think I know where you're going with this. It is very important. Yeah, like, don't elaborate any further. Okay, when he wins, Nami's able to smile again. Nami with a big smile as Luffy's silhouette parties behind her. Yeah, I think it's just a big idea throughout One Piece that's been built up from very early on in the story. And I would agree that Arlong Park is like the first arc that really, really focuses in on that. And then Jen's final promise that he forces Luffy to make about like making sure that Nami's always able to smile, etc. Sheriff Lafitte says, do you think the themes of that arc will play into the endgame of the series and that this is something Oda has had in mind for a while? Do I think the themes of that arc will play into the endgame of the series? Yes, definitely. How do I say this? Like, the importance of Luffy being able to make people smile, like, I'd say Arlong Park is like the first arc that really, really hones in on that, right? And the promise that he makes there kind of represents what Luffy's supposed to do and supposed to be for all of the people that he helps, right? J.K. Kane says Giannis is looking like a beast so far this season. Yeah, Giannis is it's like we almost don't want to give him full credit for it, you know what I mean? Like, not full credit, it's just like, if he was just starting to do this, it's just that he's been doing this shit for so long. And I think, like, it just gets harder to get MVPs once you've already got to, you know? But objectively, he should be the MVP. Zachary Smith, welcome to the Yonko tier. I appreciate it. Available on other websites at lower quality. I mean, I'm going to wait for TCB. I think that let's do it like this. So let's wait till 12:30 EST. If at 12:30 EST it's not out on TCB, then I'll read it on some other site. I think that's right. Kid Clip 2K says Morj is a casual. Yeah, I'm a casual at this point. I used to be someone that would watch like every day or every other day, basically. But in recent years, I've had to cut back a little bit. Frigid says, Morj, can we get a basketball rant on Morj Unleashed? No, that's just not. Uh, I literally don't watch enough games that I've earned the right to do a rant. Ace-Spec comebacks, but like I follow and keep up, and like I'll watch games here and there, right? Ace-Spec comebacks says, Morj, how do you feel about the past two Hunter x Hunter chapters? Also, which Zodiac member are you most interested in besides Pariston? I'm low-key not that interested in Pariston. I think that I don't get why Pariston has so much intrigue behind him. I mean, like, I do get, what am I talking about? I do get it, but I also feel like I just don't think Pariston has done enough that's like that interesting to me to like really prove the prove the hype that Tagashi keep. Like, to me, with Pariston, it's been a lot of like tell, don't show. Like, we just keep getting told and told and told that Pariston's this really ridiculously conniving and mysterious and like fearsome dude or whatever. Like, he just hasn't done that much, in my opinion. I don't think that I personally think that the election arc was one of the weakest Hunter x Hunter arcs. And I think a large part of that was like Pariston just not being like Tagashi not really writing Pariston how he kind of set up Pariston to be. That's for me personally. But to clarify, I think that the current arc is like my favorite Hunter x Hunter arc so far. I think your Marant's arc's probably better, but I think I prefer the setup and the flow of this one so far. Now, that being said, I've not read the last two chapters because with Hunter x Hunter, especially with like dense mysteries, which is what Hunter x Hunter is right now, I want to let things accumulate and then binge it all at once because that's just more fun for me. So, not reading the current Hunter x Hunter chapters just yet. Keenan says, Moron, you can't be a cook if you're afraid of fire. Are Sanji's comments versus Pearl possibly foreshadowing for Diablo Jambe, or am I reaching? Yeah, Oda's always kind of had like a soft sort of like relationship between Sanji and fire, like the chef and the cooking, and then also his fiery passion. But it's always been soft, is the thing. Anime Dimension, welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining the Yonko. Andrew Ayanami says, where my Greed Island Chad's at. Yeah, Greed Island's solid. I'm not going to say like Greed Island's like one of my favorite arcs or anything like that, but it's solid. Sampat Sakesh Revolprathi, welcome to the Yonko. I also love that name. I think I've said that before, but I love that name. Chino Wong says, Morj hates elections, but loves Succession, lol. Succession that's the whole point. It's an election in like a very, murder house type of way. It's just different. Let me take a look at this other stuff in the SBS. Is there anything else that interesting about the SBS? Doesn't seem anything super interesting about the SBS. Right? Nothing too crazy. Nami's secrets about her beauty care. New background character. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Are we waiting for the chapter together, says Bill Nugent? Yes, I think that's what we're doing. Okay. It's a doubt or nah. People on Twitter were dragging Kid for no reason. I mean, at this point, I'm interested. Let me throw out a poll. Do you guys think that Kid's getting a backstory or not? Like, I just don't think so. Is Kid getting a backstory? Again, I shouldn't say my thoughts, I guess, as I put up the poll, but I just can't help it. It just comes out. Okay, so majority are no. Majority are no. Okay. For people who think he is getting a backstory, I would like to hear the arguments. Who thinks he's getting a backstory? Spiffy says, "Just 2 panels count as a backstory?" Yeah, I think he could get like a quick like montage type thing. Like, okay, when I say kid getting a backstory, let me say this: do you think kids getting a backstory of like multiple chapters, like Law? It doesn't have to be Law's length, like 10 chapters or something, but do you think he's getting like a few chapters or something like that? Because I don't think that. I think he could at best get something like Kaido did. Ochek says, "Do you think when Kuma would ask people where they'd like to go, he actually meant to send them there if they answered honestly? Also, do you think we'll see someone with the actual rubber fruit in the future?" Yeah, because he sent Perona to a location that Perona kind of enjoyed. I don't think we'll see someone with the actual rubber fruit just because it'd be kind of redundant, right? Like, what's the point? Sampatsakish Revolprathi says, "Yo, at Morj, what are some anime series you're reading / watching right now? BTW, the message pop-up thingy on your stream is a delay." Yeah, it does. It just does. Um, right now, what am I watching / reading? Nothing really, because I'm a binger, so I kind of want things to accumulate. So I'm probably gonna watch like several Chainsaw Man episodes once they've gathered up. I'm gonna read the Hunter x Hunter chapters once they've gathered up. Same with Chainsaw Man chapters, stuff like that. I'm still watching Legend of the Galactic Heroes, just a bit by bit at a time. Mr. MMF2 says the chat on screen is lagging for some reason. Is it that bad? How bad is it lagging? Wait, I don't even see the chat. What the hell? What the hell? Why is my chat? No. For some reason I see chat box over here. I don't see it over there. You guys don't even know what I'm talking about here or there. I mean, like, it's in my setup. In my setup, I can see chat box. I don't know why you guys can't see the chat box. Okay, it came back. I don't know what's up with that, guys. Sheriff Laffy says Drake's story was in an SBS, doesn't bode well for Kid. I mean, we can imagine that, like, it's more likely that there's something to be told about Kid than Drake, but at the same time, not that much more, I guess. J.K. Kane says maybe when Meet Shanks. Yeah, maybe. Red Robin says watch Gintama. I've watched a lot of Gintama, but mainly the comedy episodes. I haven't watched the main stuff of Gintama. Tuna Sub says Morj, watch Better Call Saul. Yeah, I could watch Better Call Saul. I've been wanting to watch Better Call Saul for a while, but it's just like, it's 6 seasons. It's like a lot of episodes. Still not up from TCB. Yeah. They estimated it'd be up now, but, you know. Ben says favorite non-anime show? Yeah, Breaking Bad, nothing crazy. I think a lot of people have Breaking Bad as their favorite, right? Francisco Mas says you're a One Piece YouTuber, so length of series can't be a problem. That's true in theory, but it's also just like One Piece. I've been following that for a long ass time, so it's not like I suddenly sat down and watched like 1,000 episodes or read 1,000 chapters, right? The majority of One Piece, I've been a weekly reader, like more than half of the story. I've been weekly. Sheriff Laffy says, "What movies are you looking forward to? Dune 2 for me." There's not a lot of movies that I'm looking forward to. I don't think that there are movies that I'm looking forward to nowadays. I haven't been into. There haven't been movies that I've really enjoyed lately that have been coming out in a good amount of time. Dune 2 will probably be good. The FPS Kings Gaming says, Morj, when One Piece ends, do BCS analysis on movie. BCS analysis on movie. BCS analysis on movie? I don't know what that means. Better Call Saul analysis on movie channel. I get what you're saying. That's a maybe. There is stuff coming that's not One Piece related. I'll just say that. Yeah, Nick says Better Call Saul is no joke as good or better than Breaking Bad. A lot of people say Better Call Saul is better than Breaking Bad. I'll throw this poll out real quick. Nah, I don't want to. No, I'll throw this poll out. Better Call Saul or Breaking Bad? Please only vote if you've seen both. Only people who have seen both. Jackson333, thanks, I appreciate it. Only if you've seen both. Don't if you haven't seen one of them. See, it's tight, and I'm betting a lot of you who are voting only watch Breaking Bad. So that does tell me that Better Call Saul might just be better. Interesting. Interesting. I would bet that people who've watched both, it seems like. I'm betting a lot of people voted who didn't watch Better Call Saul. It's just the way it is. Aliato5 says, I disagree with the new direction you're taking your look, Morj. I preferred you when you look like a young man who was only just starting to bald. Jace, I think we're good. Personal preferences? Yeah, I don't know. Huel Rules is better. They made a show about Huel. I would definitely watch that. Refl XYY says Oda was taking his time before the final saga. A chapter of Kid backstory now will be equivalent to Law's backstory, as panels are now more significant. Yeah, I mean, a chapter of Kid's backstory will now be the equivalent to Law's backstory's panel. Yeah, I guess, like, in theory, but, like, in terms of actuality, of us reading it, it's still just gonna be one chapter compared to Law's, like, 5 chapters, so 10 chapters. I don't know how long Law's backstory was. Because Law's also had Doflamingo's backstory sandwiched within it. Squid Pie says, Morj, what happened to getting the Wano analysis out this week? That was such an overestimation on my part. Don't even worry about that. That's just like, that's such a, the goal now is like by the end of the year, like 2022. Am I gonna watch House of the Dragon? I don't want to watch House of the Dragon. I don't want to watch House of the Dragon. It's just like, I believe it's good. Everyone's saying it's good. I just don't want to watch House of the Dragon because it's just like, I've seen this shit, right? I've seen this happen before, and I've been tricked before. I watched Game of Thrones. It sucked me in. I was a Game of Thrones fan by season 4, 5, 6. You know, I liked Game of Thrones. I was hyped for how the show would wrap. It was like one of my top 2, 3 favorite shows, period. And then it just let me down, right? So, and then all that time wasted, all those episodes wasted. I could have just never seen that show, and I would have been perfectly fine. I don't need to see this again with House of the Dragon. Why should I believe that House of the Dragon won't do this the same way Game of Thrones did? Why should I believe that there's quality all the way through to the end of the story, right? I'm just going to wait for the whole thing to end, then see if people say it was good or not, and then if they say it's good, then I'll catch up on it. Some put Sakesh Revolprati says, dialogue and comedy is great in Better Call Saul. Saul is my favorite show right now. BTW, watch Kaiji if you're looking for a new anime. I've heard good things about Kaiji. I might try it. Jackson333 says, you could check out the anime Monster if you haven't already. GOAT series. I've heard different things about Monster. Some people say it's overrated, but I have watched a couple episodes of Monster. I know what it's about. Wug says, with the current near endgame power levels, how do you think admirals can fight them? Logia Awakening? Because these powers are ridiculous. I mean, I just don't think, like, one, I think that Akainu might get Conqueror's Haki and maybe advance Conqueror's Haki even. I think it might be in store for Akainu. Just for Akainu. Maybe. How do I think admirals can fight these guys? I think admirals can give anyone a run for their money. It's just that I don't see an admiral outside of Akainu beating, like, Shanks or something like that. So, it's just like Luffy's not going to be fighting. I just don't think that, like, Luffy versus Kizaru is really going to matter from here on out, right? If Luffy's going up against the world government, his opponents would be someone like Akainu or Im. So that's where we're at. I think that seems right to me. J Press P says Bruno Morj. Don't know what that means. Sheriff Lafitte says, would Walter White be a Yonko in the One Piece world? Would Walter White be a Yonko in the One Piece world? I don't know. I don't know if he rolls like Walter White's a planner or schemer. I don't know. It's hard to say. Kid Spicken says, I read literally a page of Monster and could not get behind the main character. That's because you just read a page. How can you judge it based off of just a page? That's so unfair. That's crazy. That's crazy. Offsuit27 says, would you rather everyone you knew died or everyone you didn't know died? Everyone I knew died or everyone I didn't know died? In this case, knowing someone means you have spoken to them directly or they have spoken to you directly in person online. Everyone I knew died or everyone you didn't know died? What? Wait, this is such a crazy question. Would I rather everyone I knew died or everyone I didn't know died? In this case, knowing someone means you have spoken to them directly or they have spoken to you directly in person online. Yeah, I would rather everyone I didn't know died. Duh. Fuck those guys. What kind of a question is that? That's like saying, would I rather a bunch of strangers live or like all my friends, family, and loved ones? You know what this is? If you asked Itachi this question, he'd be like, well, fuck all those people I know. I'm a roll with the strangers because I'm Itachi, worst character of all time that has the most annoying fan base ever for some goddamn unknown reason. Fuck Itachi, by the way. Literally, biggest piece of shit that people gas for no reason. Makes no sense. If you support what Itachi, like, if you support Itachi as a character, or even that, like, he had a difficult decision to make, I literally don't even know what to say. That's bizarre. Joe Meza says, I love you, you silly goose, you. Thanks. Tom says, what is the best moment from each Straw Hat related to their role on the cruise? Oh, that's a fun question. Such as Usopp sniping, Sanji cooking, Frankie building, etc. That's fun. That's a good question. Are they like Itachi fans are bizarre? It's really strange people. Itachi fans are really strange people. Like, would I kill every fucking baby and child and like whatever in my village to possibly prevent a war that that would in order to just help a bunch of strangers that aren't my own fucking people? What's wrong with you? Like Itachi, how many babies did Itachi kill? Do you guys think? How many over under 15? How many babies do you think Itachi killed? How many kids? Like it's just like literally a fucking genocidal maniac, and people kind of justified as like he had a difficult choice. No, it was not that difficult of a choice. You roll with your people. Um, Usopp sniping, my favorite moment is probably against Sugar. Sanji cooking, my favorite moment is probably Wanze. Frankie building, my favorite moment might be, it's weird, but him just building that bridge out of nowhere was cool. Building that bridge was cool. Zoro swordsman, that's fighting and stuff. That's different. Luffy captain, that's hard. Nami navigator, I would say getting them to Skypiea. Anonymous says you sound like a Uchiha supremacist. No, it's just no, it's just you. There's certain things you just don't do. You don't sacrifice your entire family, friends, everyone that you love, and all of your people just to hypothetically save some lives of some people that may or may not, like people that are not your people that may or may not die in said war. It's just it makes no sense. It's just a really weird. It's like it just makes no sense. Um, because the Uchiha were awful. All of them, the children too, the babies too, all of them were awful. Itachi is straight trash. Come on now. Come on now. Itachi fans are equivalent to Eren fans, but their stories are inversed. If only I finished Attack on Titan, but it got bad. Bill Nugent says, I think there could be revelation that flipped the Onigashima battle on its head, since Kaido seems honorable sometimes, and we learned that the one person he killed didn't actually die, the CP0 agent. The one person he killed didn't actually die. I don't know if that flips the Onigashima battle on its head. I think it was already flipped on its head. Um, Sheriff Laffy says, don't like Sasuke, but Itachi ruined his life and set him down a bad path and is to blame for his brother being screwed up and traumatized. I mean, I just don't like Sasuke, so I'm not going to defend him either. Keenan says, Morj has a poor understanding of the situation, RIP. No, you just don't do that. You just don't do that. That's all it is. Itachi saw the whole village as his people? That's bizarre. That's all I gotta say. I didn't know so many people were pro Itachi here. Chapter's out? Is chapter out? Haritas Andidka Nugrosa's bro deadass did diss Itachi. Loud Waffle says Itachi's only moral mistake was letting Sasuke live. No, that's not what I'm saying at all. Smith Song says he should have let the whole village live. Come on now. Uh, Smith Song says, why do you think Marco isn't considered a Yonko? Marco's nowhere near a Yonko, right? He's nowhere near there. A Robin's best archaeologist moment. I don't know what is Robin's best archaeologist moment. Does fucking up Yama count because she was protecting archaeology? Like her moments are just reading shit, so it's hard to say like this was the best Robin archaeology moment. You know what I mean? Young Gnosis, thank you. Fahad Alid, thank you. If I have to think, Robins is too hard. Don't make me do Robins. Let me try somebody else. Chopper being a doctor. Fuck. I don't know. What is the best Chopper doctor moment? Because like there's stuff that I could like probably object, like he saved all of Zoe and stuff, but I don't really love that moment, if that makes sense. Um yeah, I don't know. Guys, this is too hard. I can't do it. I can't do this one. Um I Sony Chopper Dr. Moment. It was something. Definitely something. Let me think. Who am I missing? A lot probably, right? Brooke best musician moment. Probably one of the banquets. Chapter's out? Is the chapter out? The thing is, like, a lot of them, like, they're not hard standouts. You know what I mean? Chopper could have cured Smile. Yeah, he could have. Fahad the lead says, "What do you think about the kid backstory in that SBS?" Yeah, I just don't believe we're getting another kid backstory because of the way this backstory is written. It just seems like it's everything that's important for Kid's character. So I'm not quite there in terms of like in terms of like some people believing that we're gonna get something more. I'm just not quite there because like, what is it that makes? Can you guys list like, is there anything that like really suggests that there's something clearly more to Kid's character that Oda's setting up that we're gonna get? Because I can't think of it. Like, do we have anything else set up for him that we haven't seen yet? Because that's the thing with like Law, we got like a lot of setup for other stuff. You know, Jinbei's best helmsman moment is surviving the giant tidal wave that Big Mom tried to sink them with. You know, the dude with the scar. Yeah, but Isn't that like? I guess we'll find out. You know, like I guess we'll find out. Like, is that just something that's tied to his past, or just like something that he's on a trail of to try and figure more stuff out? You know. Keenan says, "What's the worst retcon slash plot hole in any manga you've read?" The worst retcon slash plot hole. I don't know. I don't think that there's anything that crazy glaring, like a clear retcon or plot hole that I can think of off the top of my head. Like, there's minor stuff like, Gara's monster thing, Shukaku being turned into a tailed beast, but I think that that's honestly fine. Like, there's nothing that's like story breaking or something that I can think of off the top for myself, at least. Joe Mesa says, "Did you watch film Red today?" No, I did not. I did not. I've seen clips of film Red. Kit Spicken is asking Pell question mark. No, Pell's not like a retcon. Pell's not a retcon. Jose Santos says Kid doesn't need a backstory. He needs in-situation characterization and growth. Yeah, that's the biggest. Like, I think Kid could have had no backstory. Period. But then, like, if he gets a character arc or something, that'd be nice. But the way that things went in Wano, that's the thing. I would have rather Kid have had no character arc in Wano at all than have the arc that he did. That's how I try and phrase it. Like, the arc that he had in Wano was just so crudely done. It was like, because the arc, he did have an arc in Wano. It was like starting off with him not trusting people because, which was good. I like where it started, right? I think 950 even was like a good chapter for him. 950, 949, probably 950. I think there was a good chapter for him and everything like that, like him not trusting everyone. But then the arc part where he shifted over to being able to, trust and work together with everybody, that was just done so like haphazardly, or like not even, I don't even know where what the real key in, like, it was just something that happened, right? We kind of just assume it happened because he watched Luffy, and that's kind of it. So I would rather Kid have had no character arc. It's kind of like, if Wano is like an introductory arc for Kid and the juicy stuff for Kid is happening later, I would have loved it if it was like more like, what Punk Hazard was like for Law. Because in Punk Hazard, I don't think Law really changed much or anything like that. We just got an introduction to Law as a character and got used to having him around and kind of got his vibe and what he's about, and he had some cool moments and stuff. If that's what Wano was for Kid, I think that would have been great, and I think we would have probably have had less gripes, I guess, about how he was handled in Wano. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, is TCB not? Is the chapter not coming out? Hold on, is the chapter not coming out? Did we get confirmation on this? Frigid says, "Try Gachi Yakuta, has cool art and power system and an interesting premise. Um, Only a little over 30 chapters, and it has a lot of promise." Ryan Bradford, welcome to the Yonko. Did I see the Pelicans game? Okay, so I watched. It looks like, as far as I can tell, TCB still putting the chapter out. The Pelicans game, the Pelicans Lakers game. I actually, so I was watching it, and then I stopped watching it. I was watching it down to like the final, almost the end of the fourth quarter, right? Basically, the Pelicans went up 3. The moment the Pelicans went up 3, right at the end of the quarter, and then the Lakers fouled, I just stopped watching it. I was just like, I don't need to see the Lakers lose again. Whatever. Then I'm checking my phone like 30 minutes later. I'm like, holy shit, the Lakers won in overtime. How did this even happen? And then I'm going back and I'm kicking myself for having missed the game. I was literally one of the people that just turned it off because like I was just like, I'm not watching the rest of this. It would have been a great, yeah, Matt Ryan's shot. I couldn't even believe that. Yeah, I didn't realize that it just didn't cross. I was just like, there's no way that they missed 2 free throws. There's no way the Lakers make a three. Doesn't make any sense. Oh shit! It is 12:30 EST. Okay, let's do this. Okay, Sean Easton's dropping me a link. Uh, I guess I could read this. Let me see. I'll throw a poll out. Okay. Should I read non TCB chapter or wait 10 minutes? Read non TCB. Wait 10 minutes. The scan is really bad. Some people are saying the scan's really bad. But Omar Aida says it's good. I don't know who to believe. Wait 10 minutes. It looks like wait 10 minutes just wins it. Alright. I'll wait 10 minutes. Rafael Santos Pullman. Thanks. I have it up. If needed. I'm waiting 10. TCB tweeted? Alright, let's take a look. What did he tweet? Did he tweet the chapter's ready? Or did he tweet go to sleep, Morj? It says coming. No, that's no. What kind of an update is that? No, TCB. Give us a time frame. What does that mean? What does coming mean? What does it mean? Does it mean 10 minutes? How long does it mean? Oh, guys, like the stream. Let's get the we got nothing better to do. We're all chilling. Let's get the stream likes to 500. We got nothing better to do. I don't take responsible for TCB. I don't take responsible for TCB. Take responsible. TCB says it's uploading. Let's go. You know what? I do take responsibility. I gave TCB moral support. You know what we talked about today? Daylight savings time. Apparently it happens at different times at different places. Keenan says extend the deadline to 1 a.m. It's coming. Yeah, TCB just came in and said it's uploading. So thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate your guys' work and that means that we don't have to read the shitty translated version. Abdriziak M says, "Be steadfast, Morj. In Nakama we trust." Yeah, TCB was just in here. He said it's uploading. TCB, I wish you could have said it's uploading, so instead of coming, because that really threw us for a loop. Wrench Dodger 2000 says, "Spineless Morj." Wait, what am I supposed to say? What was I supposed to say? TCB has us all in the palm of his hands. We can't. You know what he could do to us? He could just take the chapter down if he wanted to. Then we got to read that other version. Oh yeah, forgot. Guys, like the stream. Let's get the stream likes to 500. We can still do it. Kid Clip 2K says, "Say the raid failed." Miss those days. Keenan's asking, favorite One Piece laugh, Morj. Mine is between Blackbeard and Caesar. I think Blackbeard. Blackbeard's just the best. Moria's got a fun laugh. We'll forget about it. Dripty Sauce says, "I just lost my car in an accident, and this man is taking this long. What am I supposed to do?" Sheriff Lafayette with a great point. Burgess laugh. Burgess has a great laugh. He's got a. I don't think there's anyone I'm forgetting, but I think Burgess actually is like one of the top laughs in the series for such a not important character. It's out? All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's do this. All right. Should I read here? Should I read here? I've got 2 monitors now. I've got so many options. What do I normally do? I forget. Normally I don't react. But now I'm a reactor. So I gotta pick a lane. My react reading forward, or react to the side. Guys? What do I do? Should I react looking forward or looking over here? What's the right way to do it? I gotta do a poll. Okay, all right. So here's version 1. All right. I can react kind of like this. So I'm reading here and I'm scrolling like this. Or I could react with it on this screen. So I'm reading and I'm like scrolling like this. All right. So this is directly forward. This is to the side. All right. These are the important questions. Okay. Forward seems to take it. Ever so. Wait, this is really tight though. A lot of you guys want it to the side. Ah, shit. This is really, really difficult. Oh my god, it's actually tied. I'm glad I did this poll. I thought it would be an unimportant poll, but actually this seems to really matter. This is a very divisive decision point right here. All right, everybody vote. Everybody vote. This actually changes a lot because this is going to be the way that I react forever from here on out. It's either going to be forward or to the side. And it's actually neck and neck right now. We're going to close the poll in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Forward. All right. But I want to react to the side. It's more comfortable for me because then I don't have to have the mic right here in the way. This made things a lot more complicated than I thought. Should I go back and look at my old streams and see how I did it last time? I think you guys will get mad. All right, I'll do it forward for this time, but we'll have this discussion again next time. All right, we'll do forward for now. Oh, this is a really cool color. I normally don't even talk about the color spreads, even when I really like them. But I really like this one. What is with the pairings here? Why are these pairings like this? Why do we have... Okay. I don't get the similarities between characters here. So it's just all the film red characters with characters paired with one another. It's just a cool spread. I like it. All right, the chapter. Okay, so we got Caribou. Okay. I'm loving Vegapunk's lab. I think I've said that multiple times, but I'm loving this whole setting. I'm loving everything here. Runs on fire. Is she referencing any? The he, whatever, an eternal flame. So the sun is important here too. I wonder if that's just a coincidence or if that's some sort of symbolism for some shit. I have to look at this again later. But Vegapunk wants a sun. Oh, that's cool. I thought it was just a hologram. But it is solid metal. Man, Vegapunk's lab is really cool. A lot of fun ideas here. I don't think we've seen Nami do, aside from like happiness punch, like a named random fun attack, like comedy gag attack, you know, like that. Oh wait, I forgot. I'm supposed to be reading out what page and stuff I'm on. Okay, so I'm on this page that's got Seraphim Jinbei. Here's what I've heard. I'll tell you guys what I've heard right now. I've heard that he fucks up Sanji, but then I heard that that was a lie. These are the things that I heard through Twitter spoilers. This isn't a surprise to me that Seraphim Jinbei is here, although I thought that he'd be arriving, like from the world government. It's a coincidence. Oh, he's as big as the real Jinbei. That's interesting. So is Seraphim Mihawk as tall as normal Mihawk? Because it looked really small compared to Blackbeard, but that's also because Blackbeard's really tall now. I don't remember Seraphim Hancock's size exactly. Nami doesn't want to fight kids. Yeah, it is Senor Pink's ability. I was just like, am I crazy or is it? But Frankie's like, it's that ability. Now I'm on the page with Jinbei. Okay, I thought punching Nami, but actually grabbing Nami. The Seraphim look cool. I love their designs. I mean, it's not that different from the normal Shichibukai designs, but I like the star eyes and everything. Yeah, so Sanji gets mad. Is he using Haki? Like, you know, black coating? Or is that just, I guess that's just the coloring of it normally. Or am I crazy? What is that? I guess it's just on his, whatever. I'm confused. Okay, so Sanji kicks Seraphim Jinbei. Is it Ifrit Jambe now or Diablo Jambe? What's he using at this point? Okay, Robin's getting in on it. Robin's angry about Nami. That's nice. Oh, he can use Senior Pink's ability better than Senior Pink. So this is interesting. Hold on. So I'm gonna assume that Jinbei was fed an artificial devil fruit here, right? Because Senior Pink's still alive, so it can't be that fruit. So I'm gonna assume that he was fed an artificial devil fruit here. So I'm guessing that we're gonna get to see this Seraphim using artificial versions of some of the powerful devil fruits that we've seen. So it kind of lines up with the general Seraphim idea, right? We're getting artificial Shichibukai, so like the clone stuff coming together, artificial devil fruits coming together, pacifista project, like lasers and shit. Okay, so all of this technological experimenting that they've been doing kind of comes together here, right? So the clones, artificial devil fruits, makes sense. Um, Gene splicing, whatever. You can use Fishman Parade. Okay. Trading beam for beam. Okay, so we see Dr. Vegapunk Edison. That's the page I'm on. Okay, Flare is their thing. So the Seraphim's still just a kid. This is something that I wondered about way back when the Seraphim were first introduced, which is that, like, are we going to see more mature versions of them later down the line, right? That's weird because this Seraphim's supposedly the same size as Jinbei already. Okay, so that's fun. So it seems like the different Vegapunks have different. I mean, we know they have different personalities, but it seems like they all offer something a little bit different in terms of the creation process. So he has the ideas. Edison does. It's to jot down the blueprints. Okay, Pythagoras covers wisdom. Okay, so flair is the creativity, I guess. Okay. Wait, what? Wait, what? So they all feel. Okay, so desire is the one that's taking care of all their like physical needs, I suppose. Okay, we got the main one, Shaka. Okay, that was just Sanji's shoes. I forgot that that was part of his outfit. Yeah, this Vegapunk seems like a Vegapunk Vegapunk. Usopp saying he's Vegapunk too. Yeah, I think at this point in the story, it's been disproven that all of Usopp's lies come true. So I think this is just another example of that. Frankie's still in fanboy mode. You feel me, Vega-chan? Island of the Past. Okay, so it's not literally out of the past. It's not unlike Egghead when it comes to technology. We've got ores. Well, you know what I mean. The ores here isn't that big, though. This is so interesting. Holy shit. I'm so confused. Okay, so we've got... Yeah, this last panel really made the chapter for me. Uh... Let me see the thoughts here. Ores armor. Yeah, or is it just a straight up mech? You know what I mean? Like, is it Ors armor or is it a mech version of an Ors from the past? To me, this seems more like a mech, but I guess it could be armor. The ending panel, yeah, is really good. Sheriff Lafitte says Lunarians are larger than regular people, so Seraphim are probably going to be bigger than the originals. Maybe Bonnie is used to help them grow. Oh, Bonnie being used to help them grow. That's a brilliant idea. Guys, shouts to Sheriff Lafitte pointing out that Bonnie could be used to help them grow. That's a great idea. Great point. Yeah, I think that this is very interesting chapter for sure. Okay, this has gotten okay, so this doesn't change that much. This doesn't change that much in terms of like okay, so I think I overthought it when I first read this. But so this is not necessarily okay. So we're not at the ancient kingdoms island, right? So when he's saying it's an island of the past, the way I'm interpreting that is that basically this is an island that's using technology very similar to what the ancient kingdom did, right? Like Vegapunk through his genius is able to replicate a lot of what the ancient kingdom was like. This is more so an island that is built off of ancient kingdom technology and recreating that. That's how I'm interpreting this. And we're gonna get to learn some more stuff about the ancient kingdom through Vegapunk. Sheriff Lafitte says the giant mech has Viking armor and horns, but also samurai sword. We see a large samurai sword on Onigashima and a giant skull with horns. Yeah, the big thing is that like at this point there's three. So there's the Onigashima giant, right? Then there's the ores that we know that was a legendary continent puller, and then there's this guy, right? So we know that these ice oni type things, these ice giants, whatever you want to call them, we know that they're a fucking big deal in the larger scheme of the lore of the One Piece world. We know that they're a big deal. It's just like, in what manner does this come out, right? Like, how does this all link together? Are they the creators of the One Piece world? Are they not the creators of the One Piece world? But like, what? Why are they so prominent when it comes to everything Ancient Kingdom related, right? I'm still a little thrown by like so Or's the one that we know was known as the continent puller, but I wonder if that was incorrect. I'm not the first person to have thought this, right? But some people are like have considered that the ores that we know being the actual continent puller is incorrect, and that maybe it was the Onigashima ores, right? Because it makes more sense. That guy's a lot bigger. He can actually move islands and shit. Ores that we know Very big, but not an island polar as far as we can tell, right? Author of Dreams says so Vegapunk is a genius, but people like him were commonplace in the ancient kingdom. That's why he doesn't think highly of himself. I wouldn't take it as that because it's like Vegapunk's one dude that's like recreating a lot of what the ancient kingdom's technology was, which is very different, right? Like he's a single dude. Just because there's a whole civilization that was super advanced doesn't mean that he's not extremely smart for being able to replicate a lot of what that whole civilization was able to do, you know? Are we about to get the origins of the Giants? Says Queen JT. Origins of the Giants. I don't know. It's just like Oda can do so much here. He can tease again because the thing is, last chapter at the end of last chapter, he teased that we're about to learn something about Dragon. That didn't come this chapter. Now we're learning about the Giants, right? But it may not come this chapter. It's like we're clearly being set up for a lot of major reveals right now. Tom says Lilith says to never let your own senses dupe you. Sanji and Usopp are present with her. Could observation hockey be important for something soon? Yeah, maybe. I hope something for Usopp. That'd be great to see. Sheriff Lafitte says, since the Vegapunks are linked, what does this mean if CP0 hurts / kills one? I imagine that they might all feel the same pain, but like the main consciousness will still survive. Keenan says, this is surreal. Been watching One Piece since the late 2000s. We're finally about to get Void Century / Ancient Kingdom lore. What a time to be alive. Yeah, it is kind of crazy. It is pretty crazy. Sheriff Lafitte says, also super cool to see Robin protective of Nami. Yeah, like she had the same reaction as Sanji, which is funny to see. It's just like um, the Nami Robin bond has definitely developed a lot over the course of the story. Samput Sakish Revolporthi says Jinbei the Seraphim has a devil fruit highly compatible to him, i.e. the swimsuit fruit. Do you think the others have devil fruits too? What do you think they are? Yeah, so now thinking that they all have artificial devil fruits at some point. I mean, in theory, Boa Hancock should still be Boa Hancock's, right? Because she has the best compatibility with that fruit period. But I don't know. Seeing Mihawk with like Mihawk had Lost Fruit, that'd be amazing. But I doubt that that's the case. If you could make an artificial Ope Ope no Mi, then that just seems like a bit much, right? The fruit that Jinbei has copied is honestly a pretty tame devil fruit that is just very useful in the hands of Jinbei. It's really hard to speculate on what all the artificial. I would like to see. I wonder if it'll be something like the devil fruit, the seraphim that already are devil fruit users. So like Crocodile, Moria, maybe Hancock. Maybe they just have their own artificial devil fruits that are like they're the original ones that they have. You know, like Crocodile's seraphim having the Tsunami, artificial version, and then maybe characters like Jinbei, Mihawk, they're given something a little extra. I think that that's possible. Mr. One's fruit for Mihawk. Mr. One's fruit for Mihawk would be cool. It's just like I don't think he needs it. I don't think it adds that much to his fights. You know? Like he doesn't need to be a whole blade. Or poor Senior Pink is dead. No, come on now. Senior Pink's not dead. I'm surprised that Frankie didn't actually jump to that sort of conclusion. But Frankie knows about artificial devil fruits at this point, so he probably is expecting that. Do you have any ideas for what Mihawk might have? Any ideas for Mihawk? Ragat says, can Jinbei breathe underwater with this fruit? Yeah, because Jack can breathe underwater with the fruit. Bear Sheriff says, ancient civilizations with better tech is a cornerstone of the fantasy genre. You can see it in Lord of the Rings. There are ruins of the first and second ages everywhere. Yeah, it's a classic. I think we knew, though, from the beginning that the ancient kingdom was more advanced because they had the ancient weapons, which are supposedly more advanced than anything in the modern day. Mr. MMF2 says, why are you assuming that Senor is still alive? I just don't think Oda's killing Senor Pink. Remember, he didn't even kill Guernica, the CP0 agent. I don't think he's killing Senor Pink, personally. Oh, Cushion McCurgy's here. What's up, man? Buggy's Chop Chop Fruit. I don't know about that. Buggy's Fruit with me, I just don't know what that adds to the Seraphim. Law's Fruit, yeah, it would make sense. NL's Fruit for speed? I mean, he would use it for a lot more than speed. Mark Ross says Buggy's Fruit for Mihawk so he can't be cut. Okay, if that's what you guys are saying. Yeah, I could kind of see that. The Jacket Fruit would be cool. Mihawk with a Diamond Fruit. Yeah, I wonder who's getting the Diamond Fruit, because I wouldn't be surprised if Josu's dead at this point. Well, I would and I wouldn't. I don't know. Absalom's dead. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's interesting to me that the Blackbeard pirates, like the fruits that they've stolen, right? The strength fruit, the teleporting fruit, they're from characters that we've never seen before. So it seems like Oda is trying to avoid killing off characters, you know? There's not a lot of characters that you'd think would be good to kill off. Like, that would be, like, killable in Oda's book, you know what I mean? Like, Absalom was basically a rapist, so that made sense. Akash Panda says, built-in water container in Seraphim's right hand. What? What you mean? Oh, I see. Yeah. Mihawk with Diamante's flag fruit to turn anything near him into a blade. That could be interesting. Yeah, reusing too many fruits would be boring. I would agree. All right, y'all. I'm sorry, but it is 1 a.m. The chapter did come out a little bit later than I expected. I'm just tired. I've had a very, very long day, so I think I am going to call a stream at this point. I'll answer one more question. No more supers. Let me just pick out one more question to answer from here. Well, I'll answer Edward Romans just because it's here. Thanks, man. In our world, an advanced civilization existed before the flood 12,900 years ago. I don't know anything about that. Water tank in Jinbei's arm is to replicate Fishman karate water moves. Yeah, that was my understanding, like, of why it would be there once it was pointed out to me. Just so that he can use water moves outside the water. All right, guys. I am tired. I'm going to call it a day there. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. But this chapter gives us a lot to think about. I'm probably going to record my chapter review right now while it's fresh in my head. So, yeah, I'll just do the chapter review and then probably call it a day. But this is interesting stuff. Have I said this every single chapter so far? I'm loving Egghead Island arc. I'm really, really liking this arc. All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.